All right, fight fans, we're here with Mr. Matchroom himself, Eddie Hearn. First thing I want to know, when are you getting a divorce? Because you're in Australia, you're in San Antonio, you're here in LA, you're never home, your wife is sick of it.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
and she didn't realize that until he just said it.
Yeah,
now watch when she sees this.
Thanks a lot.
God.
Yeah, it's been a mad trip. Australia, Saudi Arabia, San Antonio, LA, San Antonio, New York.
But do you love it?
You gotta love this
stuff. Of course I love it. Right. Yeah. I love it. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. Right. And I don't feel tired, in all honesty, because it's so exciting what we're doing. You know, we're going from new shows in Australia to a press conference in the middle of a square in Jeddah for AJ and Usyk, to flying to San Antonio for an unbelievable card.
What is the most interesting place? You've been everywhere. Is it Jeddah?
Australia was interesting because it's a new market with a lot of fresh talent and a real appetite to grow boxing. Jeddah was incredible. Like AJ and Usyk, it feels like Rumble in the Jungle. Thriller in Manila. You're in this square in Jeddah with thousands of people in the public and drums beating, and I mean, it was just amazing. And then here for probably the biggest fight in boxing.
Yeah, so, you mentioned that. Talking about biggest fight in boxing, there's a quote that I read. I haven't heard it, but you said that this fight, Canelo Triple G trilogy, is 10 times bigger than Crawford Spence, right? Yeah. I thought that was a little stretch,
10 times. I'm a promoter.
Yeah. When he showed me that, I was like, come on, Eddie.
Yeah. 10 might be aggressive, but the reality is we live in a bubble, right? We live in a boxing bubble. We're all hardcore fans.
That's true.
Listen, Spence against Crawford, what a fight.
Right.
Neither guy has ever done even a moderate pay-per-view number, in all honesty. It's still an incredible fight.
Well, Spence 300,000.
300 is terrible, bro.
I think if you're just coming into becoming a pay-per-view star,
but don't care where you're coming in or you've been there or not. That's the number.
Got you.
Right?
It's not great.
No, and when you're talking about guys like Canelo Alvarez, who consistently does 600, 700, 900, million two for this one last time and a million one, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You talk about a global reach and recognition of global icons of the sport.
We can't compare the fights like that.
No, but we don't, because we compare it as fight fans. Right. I think fight fans say, well, actually, I like Spence Crawford.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm just saying
as a fight fan, is that the best fight in boxing for you?
I think in boxing,
yes.
Like, I don't know, I think it's a lot closer in that community than it is to the worldwide world.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, but you as a businessman, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But in boxing, I mean, they're both outstanding fights. Yes. And one is a fight between two legends, and another one is a fight between two outstanding elite champions. Two future legends. Yeah. Right. Or maybe one, or whatever. But and I think we'll get it. You know, I do think we'll get that fight, because I think everyone's under pressure. Yeah. You know, the great thing about boxing is everyone wants to win. I'm talking about networks, I'm talking about promoters. And like, what the fans have got to realise is we want to outdo the competition. Right. So
are you putting pressure on all the other promoters because you're trying to make the big fights?
I just think they don't like me, so they're thinking if they see me doing AJ Usyk in Saudi Arabia and then Canelo Triple G in Vegas, they're going, we got to do something. Yeah. And it just makes people do the fight. It's happened with Bob. You know, definitely through DAZN's entrance into the US market, it's definitely given everyone a kick up the backside.
Right.
It got expensive for people at one stage, but that's still good for the fighters. Yeah. There's a lot of competition, which is great all round.
Right. Well, we're dealing with this one now. Canelo Triple G is an actual, real, live grudge match, and you're close with both of them. You actually are in both camps. What's the atmosphere like with both guys?
Well, we just spoke off camera, didn't we? I don't mind saying it. Like, I want to see it because I know the bad blood is deep and real, but I'm not really interested in saying it on a Zoom. I want to say it face to face. So some fighters are not programmed, but like they have a way that they interact with the media, and really they feel like they're a role model and an ambassador, and they don't feel like they should say bad stuff. Whereas Sal, although he is all of those,
no, he is.
Yeah, he is, but he doesn't ultimately.
He doesn't hold back when he really feels.
Like he'll tell you what.
I think Manny Pacquiao's the same way, because he always good, but when you talk about Floyd, now he don't like that.
And I'll tell you something now. Both men are desperate to go to town on the other and to do damage and to stop him in this fight.
Absolutely.
Like, they're not really interested in, like, I know from Sal's point of view, all he wants to do is stop Triple G and knock him out. I think Triple G will say, I have to go for the knockout.
Following the Bivol fight, I think we had a conversation and you mentioned that you still want to do the Triple G fight. Canelo wants the rematch. He wants to avenge himself against Bivol. What do you think was the determining factor in him making that decision? Was it influenced by you? Was it Eddie Reynoso? What made the decision?
I think we'd already signed an agreement to do that fight. We were going to
But there's a rematch.
Yeah, exactly. Fight. But I just feel like, one, it's probably it is a bigger fight, and two, he'd already had it in his head that he was going to fight Bivol and fight Triple G.
Yes.
I think if you said to Saul, what do you want to do? I think as a fighter, he would say, I want to fight Bivol.
Right.
But because of our relationship with Bivol, we felt that we could do Triple G and then Bivol. And again, when you start looking at this guy's resume, and you're throwing all the fights that we know existed before Bivol, and then you go Bivol, defeat, Triple G, undisputed, Bivol, rematch. I mean, it's like, it's never ending.
In hindsight, do you regret matching up
No,
him against
because
Bivol?
one, I don't have a say in this. I mean, I heard Oscar De La Hoya's stuff. I have no say about, I put options forward to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez. Before the fight, so all these smart asses after the fight come out and say, "Oh, what a terrible decision." They said it was an easy fight before the fight.
Yeah.
He was a massive favourite.
We never said that.
But he was still a massive favourite. You thought he'd win, right? We knew it would be a tough fight, but we all thought he'd win, right?
I thought he would edge it. We both thought that he would edge it out.
No,
I thought it was a dangerous fight.
I hoped he'd win.
Yeah, but if you had to, most people, if they had to pick a winner for that fight, they go Canelo Alvarez. But it was the air of invincibility that may have slipped from Canelo Alvarez.
But is that a good thing as a promoter? But as a promoter,
no. But what about for his mindset, for Canelo's mindset, coming into fighting?
We'll find out.
What do you think?
I mean, it can do two things. It can deplete your confidence, or it can give you a kick up the backside, and it can motivate you even more. This guy is a freak of nature. Like he's a winner. So the next day, I'll just say, after the Bivol fight, he went out he had some commercial appearances. This is a class guy, right? He's got appearances and sponsorship that he signed up to. He gets beat. He was devastated.
Yeah, sure.
So I went back to the hotel with him. I went to bed because I thought he won't be going out but he'd already signed, this commercial deal to appear somewhere. He went out till 3 or 4 in the morning, making sure he saw fans.
We went out to dinner,
Then he played golf about 9 o'clock in the morning at Shadow Creek. So I thought, I'm going to go and walk around with him. Now, he was deathly silent. And he would stand over a ball. And I would be thinking, oh no, this could go anywhere. And he would hit it to 6 feet, right? And I would think, you've just lost, right? Your whole world has come crumbling down. Yeah, you can stand over that golf ball. He's a good golfer, but he's not a pro.
Right.
And this is the mentality. I don't want to sound like too much of a fan. I know I get criticism, but he's a winner. And he wants to keep taking challenges. And I think he felt a little bit aggrieved that people criticised him. Like when he was jumping up a division he had no right to be in. I said, in all the build-up shows, he has no right to be at 175 pounds. But he chooses to almost get beat. It's like, well, maybe I can get beat at 175. So I'll go up there. And then when he gets beat,
handicapping himself is what you said.
Yes, it is. He's handicapping himself. That's what the greats do, right? Look at Lomachenko. He's not really a lightweight.
No,
right?
No.
He's a super feather. Probably make feather.
Yeah.
Look at Inoue. Yes. Right? Inoue is going to get beat by moving up to super bantam or feather. It's the only way he'll get beat.
Right.
Shakur Stevenson, another great fighter. Maybe he has to move to 135 or 140 to get beat, unless Joe Cordina beats him, of course. That's another story.
That's not going to happen. But still,
all right. What are you talking about?
No time soon, that's for sure. All right, but listen, I want to talk about how you said, maybe you're a fanboy at times, but do you think that promoters should be that way?
I just think you should be yourself. Like, I don't mind saying it. I love Canelo Alvarez, right? I think he's a great guy. I think he's a winner. He motivates me. He inspires me. Life's all about being around good energy. And I see it, like when I'm around AJ, when I'm around Canelo, people ask me, you must be shattered. No, I'm buzzing. Right. I haven't slept for 2 weeks, right? But I'm being around these individuals.
But what about your other fighters? You feel like you get AJ or other fighters jealous?
No, because they understand, they look at the size of them, and I have great relationships with other fighters as well. Yes. But naturally, the more time you spend around a fighter, the better the relationship. Yeah. And the bigger the fighter, the more time you spend around them. That's true. So if there's a kid in a 6-rounder, we talk, we say hello, and but I'm not gonna be.
You're not going to be mates like AJ.
No,
and
but
Canelo.
also genuinely, you know, of course, you get the opportunity to be friends with him because of the time you're spending.
Yes.
But you know, AJ, I class him as a friend. You know,
Yes.
a close friend. I mean, Sal I've only known for a couple of years, but.
Right.
Even the same, like some people are just good quality people.
I gotta ask you, Eddie, after Beterbiev beat Joe Smith the way he did in the light heavyweight division, your first thought, was it Canelo definitely doesn't belong in this division? I never want to see Canelo versus Beterbiev.
I think Beterbiev is an easier fight for Canelo Alvarez than Bivol.
We've been
Styles
saying
make
that.
fighters. By the way, it's
We've
very-
definitely said that
You said that.
before,
Yeah,
but we didn't know you agreed with us
No,
ever.
it's very rare.
You never kind of agreed with us. We was like, yo, don't fight Bivol, fight Beterbiev.
Yeah, but stylistically, I mean, again, hindsight, you know, you see the fight and you say, actually, yeah, but
Who do you think wins out of those two guys?
Bivol beats Beterbiev. And I'll say one thing now. Fight fans mustn't get conned by people coming out after a fight saying, well, we wouldn't do the fight on Dark Zone or whatever Bob was calling the zone, right?
Dead
Zone or
Zone,
whatever. There's a reason he's saying that, right? We don't have to do the fight on the zone. We do it on ESPN. Or we'll go into a room, me and Bob, with an envelope, and we'll open them up and see who bids the most money for that fight. But what they try and do is they try and put everybody off the idea of the fight happening because they'll want to do it on their platform. Like, it's ridiculous. Why aren't they talking about the undisputed fight?
If the
Bivol
zone-
doesn't have a fight scheduled.
But if the zone does pay-per-view now, why can't we do on
But we
both?
can, but he won't want to do, like, it's just straight out the bat. The first thing he says is that. But by the way, if we want to do it on ESPN, we can do it on ESPN. There's no offer.
Right.
They're not talking about
They're
it.
talking about Anthony Yard.
Yeah, but no, listen, nice guy from London.
Right, yeah.
That's a mismatch,
Right.
that fight. A total mismatch. Yard hasn't boxed, like he's done about 3 rounds in 18 months or whatever. And he's a good domestic fighter. And he had a good fight with Kovalev in Russia. Beterbiev's a different animal. But it's an undisputed fight. You can make that fight easy. If we don't make that fight, it's good news for our other stable, like Joshua Buatsi and Callum Smith, who'll probably get the voluntary defence. But then he's going to fight Canelo Alvarez.
That's
so,
another
So
thing, yeah.
now's the chance to make the undisputed fight. But
Yes.
sometimes people don't press them, and the media sort of get a little bit con by it as well. It's like, no one's saying, Bob, why don't you go straight into the Bivol fight? He hasn't got a fight. You know, there's a real sort of momentum at the moment for making undisputed champions. Charlo's just done it. Devin Haney's done it. Right? In women's boxing, we've got like 5 or 6 undisputed champions. It's so good for the sport. I mean, how good a fight is Beterbiev against Bivol? I know they're 2 Russian fighters, but 2 fighters that have fought over here. Bivol's coming off a massive win. His stock's higher than ever. Beterbiev's a beast. But they're not talking about it.
So
You
in
know,
other words, just start making the fight rather than talking about things that won't make the fight.
We're not doing it on there. No,
Yeah.
we haven't
Just
even-
do it.
We haven't even had a conversation.
Right.
Let's talk
You know
about
what I
the
mean?
fight and then figure out where it's going to be.
But you know, they want to do the yard fight. Bob and Frank are close, and it makes business sense for
Right.
them. But really, we should be saying no. Like
Close.
go
They never
straight
liked
in.
each other, but now that they both hate you, it's
Well,
okay, huh?
They've always they've pretend got on.
Oh,
Eddie, you mentioned
gotcha,
Bivol.
gotcha.
Canelo gets past Triple G in the fashion that he wants to. You mentioned Bivol. I don't know how secure that fight is because Bivol might fight somebody, might lose the straps.
Yeah.
Is it about the straps at 175 of Canelo or avenging that loss?
The loss.
The loss.
The loss. I mean, the loss is now personal. Not
Right, of
Bivol's
course.
not personal, but
Right.
he's a
Avenging
winner.
that loss, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have to beat him, and he believes he can beat him.
What are Canelo's next 3 fights if it was only up to you?
Gennady Golovkin, Dmitry Bivol. I think Benavidez is a big fight in time. Once he fights a genuine elite
No,
fighter.
I say put Benavidez back down, put Charlo back up.
Charlo,
Yes.
yeah,
Hey,
maybe.
Either one. Either one is a great fight.
I just think in terms of size,
Yeah.
Benavidez is
a bigger
you know,
fight,
is
Mexico versus-
but like,
I'm still the guy that's saying that he doesn't even belong. Canelo doesn't belong at 168 pounds.
Such a
He's
small
just
guy.
special.
But
He's just a special
yeah,
guy.
I think he can
But he's
get
a-
away with 160.
He's a small guy.
But he has
But what
to.
is there? What else is there to accomplish for a guy
But-
like
but
that
that's
if
what
he
I'm
wins
saying.
these next 2 fights?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, people talk about fight. Like when he talks about Benavidez and Charlo, which would be voluntary defences of his 168-pound title, it just doesn't like stoke anything in him. When he talked about Bivol, it's like, whoa, go up to 175 and beat a champion. Yeah, like that. And maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe he should have just boxed Charlo.
Yeah.
But we have to respect the guy because this is what, like I said, he wants to handicap himself almost to lose. But he's so handicapped at 175. Like if he fights Beterbiev, he'll be dwarfed in the ring by him. But I tell you what, it'd be an absolute war.
Let's talk about your other star real quick before you get out of here.
Which
Your
one?
other A-plus celebrity fighter, AJ Anthony Joshua.
Right.
Have you received any heat from London, from the UK, for taking that fight to Saudi Arabia?
No, we've done it before.
Right.
You know, I think that
That's his rematch town.
yeah. But you look at there's a lot of discussions about golf. You know, going to Saudi Arabia at the moment and the tour.
Yes.
Boxing's not golf,
Right.
That's the number one. Number two is we see the investment that Saudi have made in boxing, into grassroots boxing. Grassroots participation is up over 300% since the Ruiz fight. The clubs, I think you've gone from 4 amateur
So
boxing
AJ's
clubs to
payday is
6.
bigger than that fight.
What, the
I mean, I know
first
you don't
fight?
like
No,
mentioning
He's always in
numbers.
somebody's wallet.
I know you don't like talking
but
numbers, but is it a bigger
the
payday?
mistake that the golfers make as well, which is not a mistake we make, is it's a great deal.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind saying it.
Right.
And ultimately, when you've got a fight that's a 50-50 split
Right.
in revenue, you have to go to the place.
But is this AJ's biggest payday? Just to give the fans some
there or
perspective
thereabouts.
around it.
There or thereabouts.
All
I
right,
mean, he's had some good nights.
So can we end this with a prediction of Canelo Triple G?
All I'm going to say is, because I don't want to upset anyone yet, is this fight will definitely not.
You said
go
yeah.
12 rounds.
You're gonna
We'll
do
see.
it when? On
We'll
somebody
see what-
else's show.
we'll see what
Instead of the
happens.
DAZN Boxing
No.
Show, you're gonna do it somewhere else.
But I believe this fight will be a barn burner and it will be over within, not inside 12, inside 9. I think they will go at it.
Wow.
If I'm there, if you want a prediction while we're here as well, I think Anthony Joshua stops Alexander Usyk inside 9 rounds, right, on August 20th. That's not a popular opinion, but it's my honest belief of seeing the work he's been doing with Robert Garcia. And yeah.
I'd like to see that happen. Well,
Thank
there
you.
you have it, Mr. Eddie Hearn.